All right, welcome to Frog Engineering. So you already were from here and you've opened the video. I'm going to set you up with this to just watch the video for now, and then we'll give you the next step in a bit. So the project here is to practice with frogs. Frogs are trying to cross some things. We'll see that problem in just a second. And then we'll do deer engineering as a mastery check. So we want you to design a solution to a complex real-world problem by breaking it down into smaller, more manageable problems that can be solved through engineering. So just like we did with the pizza place and with our own problems, we're trying to break the problem down into little pieces. What could be going on with the road or the drivers or etc. So remember, this engineering process is cyclical, right? We always start with a problem and we end with a solution. And then in between, we're going to work on the problem. We're going to generate ideas. We're going to think of possible things and then compare them back to the problem and then maybe test them a little bit or gather feedback on them. And it's constantly looping back and forth before we present a solution. But first, we start with defining the problem. As Einstein says, if I had an hour to save the world, I'd spend 55 minutes on the problem and only 5 minutes on the solution. So we're going to break this problem down. So what is the problem? This is right here in Oregon, near Forest Park, just on the west side. I've actually had students who were involved in this, actually. But yeah, it's a rainy winter night, and this red-legged frog is on the move. They have to move from where they live most of the year in Forest Park. They've got to hop down to the Harborton wetlands where they breed, because they're frogs, right? They do the whole tadpole thing. So they breed in a different place. But humans have built a bunch of stuff in the way, crossing roads, highways, railroad tracks, and it's a bit of a death trap for the frogs. So in just a minute, we're going to go back to the formative and start thinking about the problem and some of the subproblems. And I want to set you up for this by showing you how to split your screen. So this is very cool. If we click and drag a tab, so you're going to come back to here and open the slideshow, right, which is what I have open here, and then drag this tab out of the top of this thing and over off the side of the screen. Did you see that? And then we can do the same thing with this blank space here, drag it off to the side, and now we can see the slideshow and work on it at the same time. Really, really useful to have that split screen. So then you'll move through things and then criteria, okay? And then as you click through the slideshow, it will give you some help with this. Criteria are ways it can be judged or the goals we're pursuing, whereas constraints are the limitations, right? That the things we can't do or things that we have to do potentially could be a constraint on our solution. So this is an example here at a mechanic shop. They often have this video, this picture. It says, we offer 3 kinds of services: good, cheap, fast. But you can only pick 2. This is part of the idea of criteria, is that there's always trade-offs. We're not going to have the best possible solution that's also the cheapest and fastest solution. So that's what's going on with criteria. So do your best to pick a few. You'll get a chance to check it at the end. And then continue moving through this. Come up with some ideas for how to save the frogs, right? What are some possible solutions? Sillier the better, right? And then you'll do the graphic analysis. So this is where we're going to look at some science data and see how it maybe affects our thing. So let's say one of your solutions was maybe to build a pond for them over in the Forest Park so they don't have to cross. So then we're going to look at this data and see, what does it say? And again, there's hints in the slideshow, so you should have your screen like this, bouncing back and forth and doing your best to answer all of this. When you're finished with the frog engineering, you got to come check in with me, and I will give you deer engineering to get started, which is a similar idea, but the problem is deer being hit on the highway. So again, first step, we're going to click on this slideshow and then drag it out of the top of there and over off the side of your screen. You got to keep going way off the side of the screen so that we can split our screen and do 2 things at once. Thanks for watching.